Another day and another controversial Star Wars story. Don't shoot the messenger, but we must talk about how reportedly Kathleen Kennedy has extended her contract as president of LucasFilm for another 3 years. And I also want to discuss how strange the timing of this announcement is, considering some of the reported conflict between Patty Jenkins and LucasFilm, which caused the Rogue Squadron movie to be delayed. And then, of course, I want to talk about the Chloe Zhao thing. It's absolutely insane. Blah, 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 blah. Let's get into it. What's up, everybody? It's Josh coming at you from Nerd Ventures Tower as per usual. And man, you cannot make this stuff up. I was just going to record a video about Star Wars, talking about some of the new comments coming out about the Patty Jenkins Rogue Squadron movie, some of the sort of issues she had with Lucasfilm, the Chloe Zhao thing, because we were all excited thinking she was going to be directing Kevin Feige's Star Wars movie, and reportedly, no fam, she isn't directing that movie or any Star Wars movie at all, ever, forever. But here it is. Kathleen Kennedy reportedly extends her contract at the studio for another 3 years. This is coming from The Direct. Let's read from the article here. Once renowned for being an independent company, Lucasfilm was acquired by Disney on October 30th, 2012. When the ink dried on the contract, George Lucas was a retired man. Taking over leadership duties as president of the company was Kathleen Kennedy, handpicked by Lucas himself. At the time, then Disney CEO Bob Iger announced that Star Wars sequel trilogies would begin development with spin-off films to intersect. Jump ahead to the present day, late 2021. The sequel trilogy has been completed. The 2 spin-off films were released during the gap years. A handful of TV series have been produced, with nearly a dozen more in the pipeline. One would think Star Wars is thriving, but the franchise has been nothing but embroiled in controversy. Fan and actor reception to the sequel trilogy was mixed, to say the frickin' least. By and large, Rogue One and Solo have been embraced by diehards, as have the live-action animated TV series, if everyone forgets Resistance exists. Yet, there's been nothing but constant bickering among the fan base and internal turmoil at Lucasfilm. Overseeing all of this is Kathleen Kennedy. I actually think that's a pretty good way to say it. That's kind of on point for this article so far. As Lucasfilm president, the buck stops with her. Ultimately, she's responsible when a project is a mess or a success. I like that. Who wrote this? Hang on. Andrew Gilman. Tip of the hat to you, sir. Such a fine article so far. As Lucasfilm president, the buck stops with her. Ultimately, she's responsible when a project is a mess or a success. In recent weeks, calls for Kennedy to be removed from her position have reached an all-time high. However, Disney appears to be doubling down on the producer, as recent word suggests that her contract has been renewed for a significant amount of time. Matthew Belloni of Puck and former editor of The Hollywood Reporter shared that Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy's contract has been extended for another 3 years. The contract previously expired in October of 2021. Additionally, Belloni's insiders noted that Rogue Squadron is indefinitely delayed due to creative differences between Lucasfilm and director Patty Jenkins. And here, this is actually really interesting. So I want to read on just because I think they're going to be talking about a lot of the stuff that I want to talk about, okay? So here it says here, a comedy of errors. The last weeks for Star Wars have been nothing short of an unmitigated disaster. I agree. Even before this news came out, I was working on a video. An unmitigated disaster might have been in the title. Maybe it still is. We'll see how I'm feeling after this. Disney Minus Day was, by all accounts, yet another embarrassment for the franchise. The event intended to get fans excited about upcoming projects and entice others to subscribe to Disney's streaming platform displayed unseen levels of marketing ineptitude. Dang, dude, this dude is on fire with this article. I struggled for a hot second with how to say ineptitude. My man. Reliable scoopers teased that footage for several series would be shown in various capacities. Lucasfilm and Disney promised exclusive announcements and reveals. They did promise that. I know some people are out there like, they didn't promise anything. Everybody's getting upset about the things that they didn't promise. Bitch, please, look at my Twitter. They've said in friggin', I think it was August, Star Wars account literally said, you're definitely going to want to check out Disney Plus Day for new announcement. They sent it! The wrap-up video for the event even showcased title cards for the 2022 Star Wars project set to debut on Disney Plus, but nothing was shown, nor were any new shows announced. Marvel Studios once again stole the show, sucking any potential wind out of Star Wars sales. The galaxy far, far away wasn't even second fiddle to the MCU. There was more emphasis put on Disney's original content, Pixar, and even National Geographic. While bird watchers and people of nature were treated to a Comic-Con-esque event, the only thing Star Wars fans got was a condensed version of a year-old sizzle reel, or as I call it, a sizzler reel. So what happened for Disney Plus Day to turn into such a train wreck? Was the Kenobi sizzle reel always planned to be the only thing Star Wars shared, or did Lucasfilm have a change of heart at the last minute, pulling everything else from the release day slate? To get to the bottom of Lucasfilm's atrocious showing, it's worth rewinding the clocks 2 weeks back. Scoopers accurately leaked the Book of Boba Fett's trailer, release date, and timed the second. Shortly thereafter, the same sources who broke news on a delayed production of Rogue Squadron, which was subsequently corroborated by the trades. I did want to touch on that. We'll get back to it in a second. After that, there was a frenzy of news. Many sources indicated that a secret Star Wars film would begin production next summer in Rogue Squadron's place, centered on the Old Republic. A detailed list of what fans could expect to come from Disney Plus Day was put forth. Word of an animated series about Crimson Dawn starring Darth Maul broke. The news was capped off by reports Eternals director Chloe Zhao would be directing Marvel Studios President Kevin Feige's Star Wars film. The reputable sources were on a hot streak, and then things fell apart. There was no new footage shared during Disney Plus Day. No news shows were announced. The Darth Maul thing was among them. To throw salt in the wound, trade outlet reported that Zhao was not only not directing Kevin Feige's film, but she isn't directing any Star Wars movie. Somehow Star Wars fans received a negative amount of news. This is true. Let's sort of stop there. Great article. Even more content here. You should really check this out. Highly recommend this article from The Direct. We read a good bit of it, but dang, seems to be really good at making some good points. So let me give you my take, and I'm dang sure we're going to be talking about this on Nerd Theory tonight. Can't wait to get into it with my brother Star Wars Theory and just kind of cut it up about this because there's a lot to get into. Kathleen Kennedy is staying. Now, to be completely honest with you, if you would have went back a couple of weeks ago, to before a lot of the stuff that happened last week happened, I would have probably been like, dude, told you. Because as much as I personally do not think that Kathleen Kennedy is doing a great job, and I really think this has more to do with her being a boomer than her being like inept, right? She's a great producer. I think she's just clearly out of touch with modern times, modern sensibilities, and how to really communicate with fans online. Kevin Feige, he's really brilliant at it, right? And he doesn't always say the right thing, and he has sort of had his foot in his mouth more recently. But let's just call a spade, dude. Kevin Feige is great at getting the fans hyped up, at delivering stuff to the fans in a way that they can digest and get excited about. So again, if this announcement would have come out just a couple of weeks ago, I would have been cool with it, even though I don't think she's been doing a great job. Part of the reason is because there is a pivot currently happening at Lucasfilm, and you do sort of need time to make a pivot like this, to really change things around, okay? Now, you might say, well, didn't they have time? Didn't they slow production down? Didn't they stop making movies to give Kathleen Kennedy this sort of time? And I would say yes. I would say the falling apart of Patty Jenkins and Rogue Squadron, which, by the way, there's some reports that basically Patty was just no way, no how when it came to working within the really micromanaging style of Lucasfilm, okay? So there's some bad reports out there right now that Patty was like, hell no, Lucasfilm. I'm not playing these games. I'm out. And believe me, they did not want her to leave. It looks like massive egg on their face. And at a time when Kathy is already sort of known as a lady that's really difficult to work under, you know, the Lord and Miller situation, the Rogue One situation. There's a lot of skeletons in her closet when it comes to production, right? But then you add in the Chloe Zhao thing, and look, is this egg on the face of Big Screen Leaks and Jordan Mason? Absolutely. And, you know, to his credit, Big Screen Leaks talked about this on Twitter and said, you know, hey, I'm holding a big L on this one. And it's true. As this article points out, he was on a hot streak. I mean, he reported a lot of stuff that ended up coming to fruition all within a quick sequence, and this included the Rogue Squadron thing. He had that before anybody did. The trades confirmed it. But then when it came to Zhao, he was saying what I think many of us were thinking, that Chloe Zhao would be the perfect choice to direct Kevin Feige's Star Wars movie. Then it comes out in the trades the same day that they completely underdeliver on Disney Plus Day, that she's not only not doing that movie, but not doing any Star Wars movie. Like, what does that even mean? Like, that feels really weird. Again, if you had made this announcement just a couple of weeks ago, I'd probably be down with it. I understand Star Wars is in a transitional period, and the Pandy did screw things up. They still need time to figure that out. Totally. But you make this announcement after Patty Jenkins leaves Rogue Squadron. She's outie. She's saying some pretty bad stuff about working over for LucasFilm, right? They completely underdeliver on Disney Plus Day. And as I talked about in my breakdown of Disney Plus Day, there was a lot of indication from a lot of good sources that they had other stuff ready to go. Some of the trailers even show things, like the titling of things that are coming out next year, that they likely had content to share on Disney Plus Day, right? Maybe, and this is kind of conspiratorial, but maybe the choice was made late in the game to save all this juicy stuff for D23. You sprinkle in the announcement of Kathleen actually extending her contract, and then you drop all these dope trailers and all of these fun things to sort of cushion the blow of something that might obviously be met with a lot of negativity from fans, because I think it's no secret that many fans do not like Kathleen Kennedy and they don't think she's doing a good job. But to have this announcement come out now through the trades, or at least a trade reporter, on the heels of all this negative Star Wars news, how is this supposed to feel good? And again, this really feels like to me that they're in denial over there, that Kathleen is probably not doing the best of job. She definitely doesn't have the fan base united, and a lot of the fans really dislike her. And you have a man in Kevin Feige that's got a lot of fan love, and he could do it, man. The super team of Michael Waldron, Chloe Zhao, and Kevin Feige doing a Star Wars movie, that's an exciting proposition. Way more exciting than Kathleen Kennedy extending her contract by 3 years and losing Patty Jenkins' Rogue Squadron movie. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a real mixed bag. I feel like Star Wars is in a very calamitous situation. I'm really interested in what all of you think about this, but that's the story, guys. Kathleen Kennedy extending her contract in the midst of swirling bad news for Star Wars. Is it the end of the world? I don't think so. Can Star Wars turn it around? Absolutely. But we must just call a spade a spade. This moment, bad moment for Star Wars. Hopefully they can turn it around. Maybe we'll get more of this stuff at D23. You let me know what you think of this situation in the comment section below. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe to this channel. See more of our content pop up in your recommended feed. Check out the live streaming channel, man. I'm sure we're going to be talking about this tomorrow on a live stream for sure. And I'm going to be streaming Halo because Halo came out early and I can't help myself. In fact, I got to finish this video so I can go play Halo. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.